All right, folks, happy Sunday. Before we start, I just want to preface this with the first TikTok that we're going to listen to is the lady in the middle. She's gone pretty viral for having gone on a date with a man at dinner, and I guess he walked out on her because he felt that she ordered too much food. Now, I went to her account, I looked up the video. She actually did a 6-minute video on this, and what was circulating on social media was pretty much about a minute's worth. I sat and I listened to the whole 6 minute. I trimmed it down to 2.5 minutes approximately. And I think when you get a little bit more of the details as to what happened, well, I don't, I can't say that she was right in ordering as much food as she did. When you find out a little bit more about the date, I will give her some grace and some leeway to say that in some respects, the guy kind of had it coming to him. So let's see her out, and I'm so glad you're here with me.
I don't know what some of y'all problems are, making it seem like what I ordered was outrageous. Man took me to a steakhouse, okay? Keep that in mind. This is a dinner date. What do you do at dinner? You eat dinner. I told him that, I wanted steak, asparagus, I wanted, the full, So he knew, mind you, he picked the restaurant. I didn't pick it. He picked the restaurant. And, again, I got the lamb chops. The lamb chops are cheaper than the steak itself. That's number one. So if I would have got the steak and an appetizer or two, it would have added up to what the hell I ordered anyway. And also, I don't know about y'all, have some standards, okay? If you're taking me to a steakhouse, I'm going to order what I want. Not only because it's you're paying for it, but I can afford what I want to eat.
Now, I want to pause there for just a second, okay? She says, I'm going to order what I want. Now, she's 25 years old. I'm 57. So, of course, I'm giving you a little bit of my life experience, my point of view, so to speak. But I have gone on dates and I've never have taken the angle of because he's paying for it, I'm going to order what I want. I have a very simple rule when I go on a date, all right? And it's been like this my whole life. I don't ever order more than what I would order if I were going to pay for it myself. Okay? And she's claiming that, she would basically do this. But if I also understand that I might eat an unusual large quantity of food compared to the average person, I'm going to also, at least I would be the type of person, I would take that into consideration. So, but her saying, well, he's paying for it. So that tells me there's a little bit of immaturity there as far as she figures, hey, it's somebody else's dime. But on the other hand, she also says, but I would buy this myself. So which is it?
Okay? And there's nothing wrong if you can't afford it, but I can afford it. So I'm not about to starve myself or act like I don't want to eat something because a guy took me on a date. I've never experienced something like that. And I never had a man walk out on me at dinner. It was a few red flags. I had hinted, I was like, so what are you going to eat? And he just was like, oh, I'm not hungry. I ate. And I was like, why would you eat? We had dinner. He was like, because I have a 7-year-old. He got smart.
Oh, okay. So apparently he has a 7-year-old, and this is like information that did not come out in the so-called, like I said, 1-minute viral TikTok. Okay. He has a 7-year-old son. Okay, that's fine. But I do have to agree with her in the sense of why would you're going on a dinner date to a place that you chose. Okay. So you do have an idea as to what the menu is, and you did invite her under the intention of we are going to have dinner. So I can tell you that even at my age, I would feel a bit awkward. I'm supposed to order dinner and you've already eaten and you're going to just sit and have a beverage. I would feel awkward. I want you to eat a meal with me. You know what I mean? So I have to give her some grace in that area.
Smart. He was like, because I have a 7-year-old. So why would you eat knowing that we had dinner plans? But as soon as, mind you, he's sitting right next to me. So when I order all my food, he's hearing it. I order my food, no comment. My food comes out, all these comments. And it just wasn't 1 or 2 comments. It was repeated comments back to back to back, where it was even the bartender was kind of looking over it because it's you're making me feel uncomfortable. And
well, I will agree. And apparently she ordered a lot of food. I mean, it was enough for what would probably for the average person could feed 3 to 4 people. Gonna be real honest, okay? But I'm also willing to bet that part of the reason he didn't say anything at the initial part when she ordered it, he was probably a bit in shock, like, how many, plates of appetizers and side dishes are you going to order? Not to mention the alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. I've been told I'm a really cheap date. I don't know if that's good or bad to my detriment, but I digress, okay? But I don't drink alcohol and I don't eat tons of food on a date, okay? But if you really get down to it, like I said, I can understand her feeling awkward with, he's not going to eat, but at the same time, she needs to, it's called, oh, ladies, what is it? It's called minding your social graces when you're in public on a date, okay? Even if you would pay for it, even if you could eat it all, you're not going to do that. Hopefully not in public.
And like, if I was a bigger woman, I would have felt like you was body shaming me. Because why are you asking me that? Why are you asking me if I'm going to eat the food that I ordered? What did I order it for?
Well, he was asking that because, like I said, you were ordering for 3 to 4 people. I'll say comfortably 3, but for some of us, we could probably stretch that meal to 4. So, but we'll comfortably say she ordered for 3 people.
He's telling me because prior to the food coming out, we had a conversation where I was stating that I don't like dating in Houston. And I was telling him why. He said he didn't like dating in Houston because he feel like women here are just finesse, like other cities. It's not like Houston. And I was like, honestly, if you feel like people are going to finesse you for dinner, I was like, maybe take them on a bowling date. Like, maybe take them to an arcade.
Does she seem like the type that would be happy with a bowling date or the arcade? One, this is not the 80s, all right? But it's nice to know that people her age know what an arcade is, okay? But does she really? I mean, I don't know her. I don't know this young lady, okay? Excuse me. But does she really seem like the type that if he said, I'm going to take you on a bowling date and we're going to have, I don't know, let's say Applebee's afterwards, or better yet, we're not even going to do that. We're going to go on a bowling date, order some pizza at the bowling alley, a couple of, beer, wine at the bowling alley. We're going to call it done. Just something for her to think about. I would be the type. I'd be totally cool for. I'd be like, whatever, sounds good to me. Okay, you don't. Let me make this really clear. Not all women require an expensive dinner of whining and dining and all of that. I can honestly tell you, that's not something I've experienced for the most part. So it surprises me when someone who's in their 20s thinks a guy is supposed to go out and drop, couple $100 on feeding them. It's just not how I was raised. It could be a generational thing. I don't know. I think sometimes it has more to do with entitlement, maybe a side of greed at the same time. Just saying. Okay, because a lot of young ladies today don't seem to be, no, she says, go to a bowling alley or an arcade. Nah, she wouldn't be happy with that. I don't think she would be. Because then she'd be doing a TikTok video on how this guy's so cheap he took me to a bowling alley and an arcade.
But you're 45 years old.
Bingo. Did you hear that? He's 45. She's 25. And I see, it's when I heard this, I said to myself, now a story is starting to come into picture here. See, this is why, folks, as much as we love TikTok, okay, you got to hear the long version. He's 45, dating a 25. Let's continue.
I understand I'm 25. Mind you, this man was talking to me about marriage. He was like, you're so mature for your age.
And I don't remember if I clipped it out. Like I said, this was a 6-minute video, and I trimmed out about 60% of it. I think they had just met each other, like they have not known each other. So he's jumping the gun again. He is 45. Come on, dude, you're 5 years to 50. Okay.
So then he was like, yeah, I'ma go. I was like, okay. He puts $100 cash down, walks out. He doesn't say bye. He doesn't say it was nice meeting you. He doesn't say, do you have a ride home? Or are you okay to get home? Because remember, like I said, I Ubered with him. He didn't say anything. He just got up and left.
And that's where I fault him. He should have been more mature. First off, let's be honest here, okay? Keeping this G-rated. There is an unspoken agreement between most 45-year-old men and 25-year-old women. Unspoken, and we will leave it at that. So he is apparently dating someone who's close to his daughter's age, because like I said, the part that I clipped out, she was like, how would you want your daughter to be treated, yada yada. When I heard the part about his age, well, I don't agree with her ordering a gluttonous amount of food. Okay, and I believe the bill, came to a few $100s. Well, I don't agree with her ordering a gluttonous amount of food. I do have to lay a large shoulder of the responsibility on the 45-year-old man, and in understanding just what he was getting himself into. And I suspect he knew what he was getting himself into. I mean, it's kind of like this. He says he's tired of women finessing him. Well, here's the way I look at it. If you're going from woman to woman, date to date, and you're feeling finessed, the problem might be you. It might not actually be the women. Yeah. The problem, to some extent, is him. His problem is he's trying, like I said, trying to keep this G rated. There's an unspoken agreement, dude. Okay? And you're feeling like you're getting finessed, then stop trying to date 25-year-old women. All right? I don't agree with how much food she ordered. That I do not agree with. Even if she could afford it. I don't agree with that. But when you hear the other half about the age he is, well, come on, dude, So anyways, I thought that twist, so to speak, made her story a bit more interesting. I don't agree with either one of them, but I do think that, and also him not calling an Uber and making sure she got home safe. He's 20 years older, okay? I just don't think he should have left her like that. Because of the age split, I guess here's the bottom line. Because of the age split, I think he should have paid the bill, taken her home, and called it done. And then he should have done some self-reflection in the mirror about where he went wrong. Yeah. It's coming from the 57-year-old. That's what I think he should have done. Understanding that she's 25. I did not think like this, though, when it came to dating at 25. I did not have the mind frame that a lot of women have today. And here's the thing, family. We don't really know if this mind frame has changed. Social media has a way of putting out in the open all the things that we didn't see hidden. How much of this stuff went on in the 80s when I was growing up and I just didn't see it because it wasn't on TikTok, right? So it's something to consider. But he needs to go home and he needs to do some self-reflection about leaving a 25-year-old date at a place without making sure she got home. So that's where I hold him accountable. All right, folks, next TikTok. Okay, this one says on the screen, this is just a photo TikTok. For those who can't see the screen, there is, again, a gluttonous amount of food. This TikTok episode kind of focuses on restaurants, all right? This is a ridiculous amount of food. First off, let me read what the screen says. It says she ordered this on the first date, and she's on her phone. What's your reaction? My reaction is, wow, one big artery heart attack. Of course, it's not like I like my pizza too and stuff. But there's something about being on a date. This just, maybe it's because it's the Oregonian me. All this fried food looks gross. I only eat fried, I eat fried shrimp and I'll eat fish and chips. And that's pretty much it. By the way, if you want to know, ladies, how to keep your skin looking real good at 57, and I don't use filters and all of that stuff. I'm a kid of the 80s. We weren't raised with all these filters, okay? So I should look in person darn near what you see on the screen, all right? And I think the people who know me can testify to that. If you want to keep your skin looking good, ladies, don't eat this crap. Okay, fried food, no, okay? The wine, I know you guys like your wine. That's not the stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about the greasy stuff. This greasy stuff will age your skin like nobody's business. So she's got here a ridiculous amount of, looks like fried food, seafood. Looks to me, this could feed a family of 6. And then she's on her cell phone. She seems so glued to her cell phone. If I were the guy, I would probably just quietly walk away and leave her wondering what happened. Unless, of course, you drove her. I'm going to be honest. If you drove a lady someplace, okay, short of something just so, out of the unexplainable happening, you either need to give her a ride back home, or you need to make sure you call an Uber and give her the funds to get home. Like, you've paid for her Uber and you're there. That's just, there. What is it? Somebody told me once. It was actually when I was married. Okay, I got divorced 10 years ago. But I remember even once I was with my husband, my ex-husband, okay, and I said to him, "Oh, I want to get a little exercise in." I said, "Just go ahead and drop me off, and I'll walk the 1 mile home." And I remember he actually told me, he said, "No, I'm not going to do that, because if I take you someplace, I'm responsible for getting you back home. If you want to leave the house and go walk for a mile afterwards, that's one thing. But for me to be out and about with you, leave you on the side of the road, at a restaurant, wherever, I expect you to make your way home," all right? He said no. And I have to be honest, I actually agree with that. Just leaving the young lady there. I know we may want to, but if we took them, okay, if the guy took the woman to a date, he at least owes it to give her a ride back home. That's just my opinion.
You handing me this for?
You're trying to pay for the food.
Okay, we have here a couple, a dating couple. I suspect it's a dating couple, but the screen says, "Woman expects the man to pay for the food, and this is how she reacts." Now, it took me a minute to notice she's actually holding a baby. She's holding an infant. I am suspecting that this is not the man's child. And the only reason I'm suspecting that is because of his reaction to what amounts to a $50 bill. If this is the mother of his child, then I think his behavior is completely wrong. So that's why I'm assuming this is a date. I sometimes you guys on these TikTokers, you got to give us the lowdown as to who all these characters are.
It's who turn to pay for the food?
Your turn.
Why would I turn to pay for the food when I'm here with my man?
Because I always pay for the food.
I can't hear you. What?
I always pay for the food.
You always pay for the food?
Yeah.
I always pay for the food.
I ain't paying for it today.
You not paying for it?
It's that time.
It's only $50.
I'll pay for it.
We'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Why?
Now, if it's only $50, then yeah, it's only it's only $50. It's only $100 based on who's paying for it.
Would I have to pay for anything if I'm here with my man? You are my man. You're supposed to pay for everything.
I done pay for everything else, so you can pay for the food.
You what?
I done pay for everything else.
So I gotta pay you. I gotta go in my pocketbook and get out $50. You can't pay $50? Okay, well I'm leaving then.
What?
Oh, you might as well go ahead and call the server and see who gonna wash dishes, because it ain't gonna be me. I'm not paying $50 for this. What?
I ain't either.
You ain't even paying for this. He said he's not paying for it. So what he needed? What he said that I'm the woman. He been paying for everything all weekend, and now he want me to pay for it. And it's only $50. Sit back some so he can. It's only $50. So what you think?
What you want me to pay for it?
Nah, he need to go wash dishes or something.
If it's the mother of his child, he needs to pay for it. But if it's a date that they are going on, like I said, I don't know if that's the mother of his child. I'm going to assume it's not the mother of his child. All right, so I could be wrong. But if it's not the mother's child, this sort of thing, guys, needs to be sorted out before you go on the date. It really does.
I'm paying for my meal and your meal. I'm not paying
And
for your
my
kids'
kids'
meal.
meal.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not paying for their kids' meal. No.
So you don't think you owe me after having me wait an hour and a half?
I told you I owe you. I owe you one. I'll take you out
Okay,
again.
and so you're gonna pay for my kids' food.
No, I'm not doing that.
Can you please go ahead and
I'm not doing that. No. Hold up, beautiful. Hold on. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Why you not
Listen.
bring two, please?
What's her name, Kiera?
Bring 2 orders.
Why should I do that, Kiera?
Because you sitting right here on the date.
I was late to the
Bring
date.
2
I was
orders.
late to the
Can
date.
you bring 2 orders?
But I'm saying, why would I
Yeah.
get her kids food? Why would I get her kids some food?
Because
They with their daddy.
She was right here.
They daddy should be feeding
She
them.
she was waiting.
You
for
say you order a steak for your son? How old is he?
He ate.
He ain't eating steak. He eating the same
So
thing I
what?
eat. Nah, hell no. I'm straight. I'm cool. Don't put that on my bill.
Give him a
Don't put that on
steak.
me.
Make sure you put a side of A1 sauce as well. He
Yo,
paying
can
for
you-
all of this today.
I'm not paying for
Yes,
all
you
that.
are.
No, I'm not paying for all that.
Yes, you are.
I have to be honest. Let me just back this up a second here. I have to be honest. I find it very unattractive when women dictate to men. It's something I personally find it just very unattractive. I'm probably a little bit more of a relationship traditionalist than even my parents may realize. Okay? There's just something very unattractive to me when a woman sits there and she starts barking orders, demanding, dictating. I don't like it. And without delving into my, family's personal history, okay, because that part of their life should be kept off social media. All I will say is, the things that the opinions that I hold, okay, and as far as it relates to my personal experience, I saw things, and I found them to be unattractive in women, and dictating to a guy, what he is or is not to do, as if it is his job to bend down to your every command. It's not something that I find attractive. I think this lady holding her glass of wine, acting all uppity like this guy, who, by the way, isn't even her husband. It's a date. And if it were her husband, it wouldn't be any better. In fact, if it were her husband, I'd feel really sorry for the guy. But, she's sitting there like it is her world, her needs, and everyone else is, behind her. And she has a couple of kids. Now, was it discussed before they went on the date whether or not he was supposed to bring home food for the kid? It doesn't sound like it. Also, what 8-year-old eats steak with A&1 sauce? Yes, I know there is an 8-year-old that does that, okay? But in general, who is the extra meal or two really for? Ladies, there is something that we have to do on dates, and that is to show that you have social graces, that you have social manners. All right? And to me, this is just my opinion, okay? It looks really unattractive to sit and dictate to a guy that this is what he's going to do, and he will bow down to your every wish and command. No negotiation, no thought as to perhaps, his budget, his time, his wallet, yada, yada. And I understand he was an hour and a half late. Yes, I understand that. I personally would have not waited an hour and a half unless it was a date I really, really, really wanted to go on. She must have really wanted to go on this date because she sat there for an hour and a half. Okay. But in general, I would not have waited an hour and a half. And especially if you hadn't called me. But, yeah, there's just something really unattractive about women who have this type of personality. Just my opinion. Let me hit play.
You're
Yo,
paying for all of this today.
I'm not paying for
Yes,
all
you
that.
are.
No, I'm not paying for all that.
Yes, you are.
I sure as heck hope he didn't. And again, see her safely home. And if you don't want to stay and see her safely home, you make sure she has plenty of money for an Uber. And that's easy to do. Contact Uber, leave her money from the restaurant to home. Like I said, you don't even have to take her home, but you have to make sure she has a way to get home. Okay? That I think is an obligation.
Yes, the whole entire date. That includes my Uber to the date and my Uber back to my house. If you are a man that I'm interested in, I want to see that you can provide for me. I want to see that you can afford an Uber ride. I want to see that you can afford a nice dinner date. Like, can you afford basic things? Because if you can't afford dinner and an Uber, my transportation, you certainly can't afford kids. You certainly can't afford a house. You certainly can't afford my bills. And I got bills to pay.
Why are your bills his problem? And who was paying for your Uber? Who was paying for your dinners, your bills before he came around? I don't know if it's just social media or if times have changed. These types of demands and expectations on someone you're not even in a relationship with would at least not have been vocalized. Okay, I'm not saying take us back to the 50s where we act like everything's perfect. Okay, Not saying everything was perfect in the 50s, you get my drift. But sitting there just so candidly and going, yes, and you will make sure that by the time, the first date that you go on with me, you better be able to pay for my condo, pay for my car. You better be able to take me on vacation twice a year. One of them must be overseas. Okay, making these type of demands, I don't get it. I will never understand it. Maybe I'm more timid and shy. I don't know. I just don't understand it. And you have bills to pay. Well, lady, pay your bills then. That's not his job. It's not your date's job to take care of you. And even when you get married, it's still, when it comes to securing the household, guys, everybody has to do their part. Why would any man, at least in my opinion, why would any man want to marry a woman who's already put the demands on him all the way down to the kids? Like, you won't even go out for a glass of, I don't know, you won't even go out for a Starbucks with him unless he can meet all these financial obligations? Guys are sunk before they even get a chance to give you a number. This is why, men, you have to choose wisely. Yeah, you have to pick wisely. The signs in a lot of women, they're always looking for signs in men. Guess what? There are a lot of signs in women too. Okay, a woman who sits there, and I don't want to be harsh on this lady, but we're gonna be, okay? She's demanding all of these things from a guy. Now, I don't know about you. She looks like she barely got up out of bed. I'm just saying. Okay. Hair's not done. I looked at her profile photo. Some people might feel they were catfished. I didn't want to put her profile photo on here, but I looked at her profile photo and then I looked at this and went, okay. But when you are demanding something of someone, you want a guy to bring his A game. Yet you're going to make a TikTok video that, literally, I think she might still be in bed. Okay? Yet you're going to demand of him all these different things you want him to do for you, but you won't even do for yourself. Get out of bed, comb your hair. A little lip gloss never hurts. Okay? Lip gloss is a woman's friend. Okay? It's just these are the things that I kind of have to think about, So she's got her laundry list, and I swear she's still in bed. Either that or it's a really fluffy dress top. So we got to be careful, ladies, before we demand of men to do things, and we won't even do them ourselves. And in fact, I don't think you should demand anything of a guy. That's just me, though.
Okay.
A group of women are getting called out for forcing the only man at the table to pay for them. This man and his wife were celebrating another friend's birthday, and a group of them went out to dinner. However, when the man requested separate checks, you can clearly hear the other women getting very upset.
Can you separate it? I got the birthday girl and my wife.
Separate checks. Dang, I'm sorry, you're the only man at this table. Why are we doing separate checks? It's all women here.
No, but I'm not responsible for paying everybody. I got the birthday girl.
You invited everybody. You invited all of us.
I didn't invite you.
The man was willing to pay for his wife and the birthday girl, but the other friends wanted their bill paid for as well. However, it was over $700, and when he still refused, everyone at the table started calling him cheap.
Y'all got so embarrassing. Let me get out of here. Not us splitting checks.
Most of them ended up leaving him with the check.
I think that is absolutely despicable. That just because a bunch of women, go out and have a birthday, they think the guy is supposed to pay for everything. I want to make this really clear to the guys out there, okay? Not every woman, don't suck into believing, don't buy into believing that, every woman must be like these women. No, we do not all live on, what is those reality shows? Okay, Housewives of Beverly Hills, whatever. Okay, Women of Atlanta. I don't watch that crap, so I have to be honest, okay? But no. I've gone out with people that are considered family, all right? But on a legal sense, they're just super good friends of mine, but they're regarded as family. We've gone out to birthday dinners and all that. Everybody pays their own way. They've already got their own family to take care of. okay, and running up a $700 tab and having the audacity to think that this guy, all right, is supposed to pay the bill. I mean, that's a mindset that I just don't understand it. I don't have that type of mindset. Okay, it's gracious for him to pay for his wife and to pay for her friend. Okay, the birthday girl he paid for. But to sit and to say, "Hey, you're a guy, so you have to pay for all of us." Well, was that arranged before you came? Well, it shouldn't have to be arranged. It should just be assumed. Well, then you shouldn't assume that. You should always assume when you are at a gathering, you are paying for your own meal. And for them to run up a $700 bill. But I wouldn't care if it was a $100 bill. I wouldn't care if they all just went to Starbucks. This is like a la la land that is being shown on social media that I don't get. I genuinely don't understand it. And I hope he did not pay the bill. And here's something else to the birthday woman. She needs to be considering the type of friends she has. Okay? She needs to consider, what type of friends do you hang out with? What do they expect of you? Because what this told me was really, this was all conditional. These friendships are conditional, and you know they're conditional when things like this happen. That means they're not really your friends to begin with. But a part of me suspects that we already knew that.
Cheap.
Y'all are so embarrassing. Not us splitting checks.
Most of them ended up leaving him with the check.
I mean, just their attitude just is nasty to me. Just that attitude. Well, you're not expecting me to split that check. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
She get here, tell me why she pop up with 3 kids. 3 of them? Feel me, got a 5-year-old, got a 7-year-old, and a 17-year-old. I'm 27.
Okay, let's just hold on. So 17, he's 27. He's got a kid she has a kid only 10 years younger than he is.
Oldest almost older than me. You only about 33. What age you started? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't never ever post these kids. So all of a sudden we go out to eat. Oh, I got 3 kids. Come on, ladies, y'all can't be doing that. We gotta do way better than that, man. Don't even get me started. She don't even look like what she look like on Instagram. Straight catfish. Hey, mama. Yeah, I'm about to eat right now, mama. Yeah, we got a little restaurant. Yeah, the girl I was telling you about from Instagram that I met. This Nia.
Now they're sitting here eating off of cafeteria plates and forks, okay, plastic forks. So obviously, they're not at high dining and stuff. But keep in mind, she's got 3 kids. She's 33, so that means she had her first kid at 16 years old.
Yeah. Say what's up, Nia.
Hi.
Yeah, this is the kids right here. Y'all say hi, kids. Hi. Yeah, this is little Kayla. She's 5. That's Timmy. He's 7. And this Sheree, she's 17. Right. So what you gonna be doing later, mama? All right. Well, let me just give you a call back later then. How the food is, kids? It's good? Look like your food good. You eating a whole lot over there. What's up, mama? What about you? How you feeling?
Everything is good.
Y'all think y'all gonna get something to eat to go? Come on now, I got it. I can handle it. Let's just make sure they eat enough food. They good.
I don't know. I may get a to-go box for the kids.
Yeah, get enough. Y'all make sure y'all fill it. Y'all plate up, all right? Yeah. So when you get you one, make sure you get me in one too. So you feel me? I got it. I'm gonna handle it.
All right.
Let me run to the car real quick. Let me go grab my wallet. I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem.
Y'all know we ain't doing that.
I cut the video off a little bit short, okay, just to trim it down. But he makes his escape by going out to the parking lot and he leaves. Now, I have to be honest, I was kind of cheering him on, going, oh, okay, this is too much to pay for. But again, this really all comes down to communication. Was it communicated that she was bringing her 3 kids? I don't think it was. And in that case, he should have left enough money to pay his bill, her bill, and if he really wanted to, okay, if he really wanted to, he again, making sure she's got a ride home, Like I said, guys, stand firm on that, okay? But if she just popped in with these 3 kids, I have to be honest, folks, I can't blame the guys that don't want to pay it, okay? I cannot blame them. If they pay it, that's gracious, and they move on. But if they choose not to pay it, I'm not going to shame them for it. I'm just not, because it would be no different. I mean, ladies, let's take this and let's flip this around a little bit, okay? Let's say, ladies, that you volunteered to take a guy out to dinner. You know, you just wanted to treat somebody, and okay, and you take him out to dinner, and all of a sudden he brings his 3 kids, and you're like, you know, in your mind you're going, okay, I budgeted maybe $100. Now it just doubled the bill, whatever. You know, we have to look back on it as in how would we feel, you know? And I think when we have too much expectations that it's the guy, he's supposed to be the sucker and pay for everything. No, he's not. And I will tell you this, I'm going to be totally honest. I admire a man who will stand his ground when it comes to what he will and will not put up with, than a guy who just simply, you know, rolls over and says, okay, whatever, you know, we'll do it your way. I would much, just in my world, I would much rather have a guy that stands his ground and says, no, this is what I will accept or not accept. And women, of course, you can do the exact same thing. We women do it all the time. How do we know? Because we just saw it. Well, as long as we're going to the holiday season and we're talking about being broke, okay, I don't know if it's the guys broke, the women's broke, like the woman we just saw here. I swear I don't think she got out of bed, okay, but she must be pretty broke herself. We're going to talk about cars, and you know, people are getting ready with the holiday season, folks. You know that those vehicles are going to start getting purchased, and you know that somebody's going to purchase a vehicle that they can't afford, and in 2025 it's going to be repoed. You know it's coming, all right? And I know it's coming, so let's discuss it, and we're going to talk about it right up here next. I'll see you in just a second.